by Riverside.
It's the Dynasty front office, and we are building you championships one trade at a time. I'm your host, Jesse Schneeman, and I'm here on a very special evening with one of the best friends anyone could ever have, Austin, the auspicious Austin Bell. How you doing tonight, Austin?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Good. I threw like an extra little line into my intro, and then it threw me all off.
It's okay, man. It's just me and you. Nobody's going to know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And all 107 subscribers that we have on YouTube. Thanks, guys.
Well, appreciate y'all, but nobody else will tell on them, I don't think.
All right. So if I wheeze a little or I sneeze or I cough, I apologize. This is why we didn't go on Thursday. I'm battling a little pneumonia. First time in my life.
Boo them in the chat if that happens, guys. It'll make them feel better. That's
how you know I'm getting old, though. Like I have a cold and it turns into a pneumonia. It's definitely an old people thing.
Hey, you said
it. Okay. So tonight, well, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's May. It's one of my favorite months.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a year older. Luckily, still not catching you, but I am a year older.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Thanks.
No, you're going to be older than me soon. You know that's how it works.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it could. I feel it some days. Don't get it twisted. But
yeah,
man, I'm doing good. It's off season. Talk some rookies here. This past week and a half's been a blast doing rookie stuff.
So much fun.
That slowed down now, unfortunately. That's kind of the negative of joining less leagues. Over the past 2 or 3 years, I've kind of cut my leagues basically in half for various reasons. Some I control, some not. And it's a lot less fun now.
Yeah.
Especially because, I was the one that was a big proponent of selling your 26 draft picks.
Right.
So, I think I had 3 or 4 leagues where I didn't have a pick. And so, I'm in 5 or 6 rookie drafts, and I'm over here. My first pick's the 307. It's not as fun to watch people make picks.
Yeah, it's not. I have a league like that where I came in second, so I did collect, but I'm the commissioner, and I all I had was 411. So, but I had to follow the draft because I'm the commissioner.
Yep,
I got to make sure everything goes right, and bump the next person and all that stuff. So, yeah, that does stink, but it is going to make things a lot more fun on game day when you don't have to set millions of lineups. That's the really tough part for me.
True, but the one thing I do like about like this year specifically, which I'm sure we're going to get into, is the drafts were crazy. I mean, you would see really from, we'll say 111 on. I mean, it was just chaos. I mean, people that you would never expect to go there. Some people, I think at my first 307, I think I got Deshaun Stribling.
Wow.
And, it is an IDP league, but I think only 3 or 4 guys went before that were IDP players. So, stuff like that, it's just crazy. When in another league, I saw him go at 2-2, I think.
Which is, I mean, that's, he's fine there at 2-2.
Yeah. Oh, after 111, I'm not really going to argue many people, their decisions, to be honest.
I am, and we'll get into that a little later, because there are some things that I don't agree with.
Yeah, I mean, I have my preferences, and I think I know where you're going, but I mean, it's like the Wild Wild West this year, and it's kind of
cool. Really is. It's made me regret my pre-draft trades because, like in the past, it's been a lot easier to predict who's going where and what part of the draft you want to trade into and what trade out of before the draft even happens.
Yeah,
because there are usually so many prospects that you're getting 14 guys that you're going to pick. Whether regardless of landing spot, pretty much. There's going to be 14 guys that are in this draft. Really, there's like 10 or 11, and so and I did know that from doing our mock drafts leading up. So I started trading out of those, and what I realized once I got into the drafts, I didn't trade out of all of them. I made a couple deals, but once I got into the drafts, people were doing crazy stuff ahead of me, right? So Jonah Coleman goes and all right, now everything's thrown off, or just things are just way out of order. Concepcion is going higher than I ever expected him to. Only a couple picks, but it throws the rest of it a little bit out of whack. And then Ty Simpson gets that crazy landing spot. So, like, it does happen now that, like, I've seen Boston go at 201, 202.
Mm-hmm.
I'm perfectly comfortable taking Denzel Boston at that spot.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, whereas I'm thinking, well, Stowers goes at 112, and then what do I have? Jeremy Bernard or Stribling?
It was interesting, and I didn't have many first to deal with it personally. But, I have a lot of friends that hit me up asking what they think, what I should do, the blah, blah, blah. And I enjoy that just as much as me making the picks, to be honest. Maybe a little bit more because then it's not on my team. So if I'm wrong, say, my fault. But, but I take it like it's my own team. So, these people at 110, like you said, the question of Cooper or Stowers or Boston, who do I take there? And it was always honestly a different answer for me. Mm-hmm. And, I had a 110 and I had a 111. Those are two of my first that I did have, and had the same issue with both those three guys.
Yeah. The difference between Boston and Cooper is, I mean, we talked about this last time, but it's negligible.
Yeah. Yep. I went with one of each. That's what I did.
Yeah. Well, I think I got two of one and three of the other at the moment.
Yeah.
All right. So that, I mean, we're going to get into it. Pretty much player by player in a little bit, because we did a big group of them already, and so we could probably power through a bunch of these. But before that, it's also startup season.
That's right,
and that has been fun.
Absolute blast.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're doing a startup. I guess, are you and Chad are co-managing that one?
Yeah, we're co-managing. It's actually a listener and subscriber, Swiv.
Okay, yeah,
my boy
awesome.
Vip. It's actually his home league, which I live 20 minutes from him, so it's technically my home league too. Right. Him and his dad have been going at it with 25 years now with the league.
Wow,
and it's
Dynasty been league for 25
been
years.
keeper league the entire time.
Oh, okay.
And his dad's friends have slowly dwindled out, and his friends, myself included, have come in. And we kind of discussed the Dynasty league a couple years ago, and everybody agreed that's what we did. So this is a startup for, basically the 25th year or 26th year of this league. It's kind of cool seeing, what people do. It's been an interesting whirlwind.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. So I have your startup here. Well, let's ask you some questions about it.
Okay.
Real quick. So you started out 101 with Josh Allen.
Correct.
No one's going to fault you for that. Did you consider anyone else?
I didn't consider anyone else. What I wanted to do was trade back. I really wanted to go into this with a productive struggle. That was my entire plan. Once I saw I got the 101, I said, man, this is perfect. Somebody's going to want to trade up for Josh Allen. Who doesn't want Josh Allen on their dynasty team? Nobody wanted to. I mean, I sent 9 offers out.
Wow.
The only counter I got was not a good offer. We'll just leave it at that. And so I took him. At that point, it kind of ruined my plan and honestly a little bit of my excitement. But at the same time, you have Josh Allen. You can't really complain there. So no, it was just Allen for me. We can bring up Drake May. I'm guessing that's the name you were kind of questioning.
Yeah.
Just seeing too many quarterbacks have 1 year of crazy production and fall back on their face per se.
Yeah.
And, I do think Drake's situation improved skill position wise, getting Dobbs, assuming getting A.J. Brown. Another year in the system is always a plus, but at the same time, it's Josh Allen. He's still, I think he just turned 30 or about to be 30.
He's 30.
So I'm expecting, at least another 2 or 3 years of elite production. And, at the same, I can always move him. It's Josh Allen.
Yeah. I'm hoping for 4.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be awesome.
Right on. Okay. And then second, Jackson Dart.
Yeah, it's there's 2, I guess we need to discuss premiums. There's 0.75 tight end premium and 0.2 point per carry. Okay. So when I got on the board, the names that really caught my attention were Jackson Dart and Mahomes. It was really hard to pick Dart above Mahomes.
Wow.
But yeah, I know. But being it was a point per carry league, Dart's like a cheat code in that league. Whether it's design run or not.
Yeah.
I have enough Mahomes. I think I only had one Dart share, so I kind of went with the big boy rushing upside, and obviously you got to hope he stays healthy. But
Right.
Mahomes is also 30, and coming off an injury as well, so I kind of spread my shares around there and went with Dart.
Okay. All right. So then Tyler Warren so there was a third round reversal. So
Unfortunately, yeah. In this instance,
same
which
in mine.
I'm really pro third round reversal, so I don't want to talk negative about it. The 101's the least fun pick to have it on.
Yeah. Yeah. It just makes it more fair. I was disappointed because I had 101 as well, but I can't argue it. It is the right way to do it.
Absolutely.
So you guys take Tyler Warren, 0.75. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. And then Garrett Wilson, nice pick. 5 Jadarian Price, I thought was a little strong.
Into the fifth, I mean, running backs are flying off the board.
Okay.
I can read the other names available.
Okay.
ETN was the two. ETN and Price were the two that we were deciding between.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Chad were discussing it. He said, "I'm surprised you don't want to take him." I said, "Man, I have so many shares of ETN because, as y'all know, last year he was my buy last all season. So I think I have 4 or 5 shares, and out of 10 leagues, that's enough."
Yeah.
So
yeah, you don't want to be overexposed.
And as much as I know Chad believes in him, I was like, "Hey, let's take the shot." I don't have a share. I viewed him about the same price points. And then so you had ETN, Josh Jacobs, Javonte, Scattaboo, and RJ Harvey. Those were the next running backs off the board over the next 2 rounds. So for me, it was Price or ETN, and we went with Price this time.
Right on. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely not making it back to you after 24 picks if those are the names. So. All right. I can accept that. And then Rome I like, and then Makai Lemon, I really like that at 7. But you traded up a little bit.
Traded up technically 2 spots. We moved from the 8-1 to the 7-11. Guy took a 27 third to do it.
Nice.
Yeah, and so he took Casey Concepcion and Rondé Gadsden with his back-to-back.
Okay.
He was the pick before us and after us. I think he was worried we were going to take Gadsden because before I could even message him, he had sent an offer trying to get 8-1.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was thrilled to get Lemon as a wide receiver 3, and the end of the 7th felt like phenomenal value.
Yeah, agreed. Very much. And then Waddle, I like that. I'm not seeing who you're. Oh, okay. Okay. That's basically your 8th round pick. And then Tootin with 9-12. It's a good range for him there. I think I considered him even around before that.
Yeah, I think we were discussing your startup in the Discord, and I think it was the turn before is when he went off.
Yeah. So, I like that there. It's good value. He does, and I said this in our Discord. He does strike me as a 1-year starter, though.
Yeah.
He's very easily drafted over, and I don't think he would go away completely, but he might be more of a 1B or even second back next year. So, if you can get something good for him in season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm obviously not opposed to moving somebody like that if he starts to click, and especially if we're not contending heavy.
Yeah, cash in on the value.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good. And then Isaiah Likely. So that one, talk to me about that one. Do you think what do you think the snap share is going to be like for him?
Well, I think he's absolutely the primary receiving target because he's not a good blocker. So they're not going to pay him 3 years, $40 million to be a subpar blocker and not use him as a receiving weapon. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming he's going to be their main receiving tight end. So as long as they're not running inline tight end constantly in 11 personnel, then I would assume Likely's on the field 60 to 70% of the snaps, which is all he needs. I mean, he showed that in Baltimore the times when Mark Andrews got hurt. If he was the main option, he succeeded. It's just Andrews didn't get hurt the past 2 years, so he was always the second option. And he's better than Theo Johnson. Let's be real here.
And he's better at catching than Theo Johnson. There are things that Theo Johnson does very well. It's just, man, he dropped some big passes last year.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't even think Theo's really a plus blocker. I think he's an average blocker.
Yeah,
he's average. So, at 12 personnel, that'll still be two good weapons for Dart.
Yeah.
And the next tight end for us was Strange. That was the one we were kind of struggling with. I had him in the same tier for me, and we kind of agreed that the upside with Likely was higher than the upside with Strange, because I think Strange is locked into that third or fourth option on the offense, barring health. Whereas I think Likely could be the second option. I think that's a real. I mean, there's what they're paying him shows that they could want him to be the second option.
I like Strange because I believe in that offense more.
Sure.
You do know who the Giants signed as their offense coordinator, right?
Go ahead and tell us.
The Nagy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's that part right there just dampens my hopes for them a little bit. I'm pretty sure he's going to feed neighbors, but otherwise it's a little scary. And I really like Strange. I mean, what you say makes sense. It is a crowded room. As far as pass catchers.
Yeah, a lot.
For the Jags. It's very crowded. With the news now that, I think it was exaggerated earlier in the offseason that Travis Hunter was just going to be a corner. I think it's going to be more of a 50-50 split. So he's going to be in there. And then they have three other receivers that, didn't they extend Parker Washington? Yeah. Did they extend him? And they definitely extended Jacoby Myers.
I don't remember if they extended Parker or not. Okay. I don't think they have to. I think he's still in a rookie contract.
Mm-hmm. He was undrafted, wasn't he? Well, so that comes up a lot quicker. Anyway,
this is his last year under contract.
There is a lot to feed there, so you don't know. We can't tell you who the odd man's out is. And
yeah, for sure.
Liam Cohen's just not going to. So
we kind of wanted a ceiling play there. That was our thought. Strange is definitely the safer play. I totally agree with that. But Likely feels like somebody that could become a significant value winner throughout the season.
Yeah, and you say he's not a good blocker, Likely, but when you put him in the slot, he's a good blocker for a slot receiver.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's a better blocker than Wan'Dale Robinson that they had out of the slot last year.
Sure.
So, and Malachi Fields is a huge, really, really good blocker on the outside. So
got to be good at something.
I think he can do some in-breakers. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. It likely is definitely more volatile.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
I think that's what gets me. I'm very risk averse with everything. I'm not a big gambler. So
yeah, for us in the 10th round, that's kind of where you start taking a little gambles before you start. I think over these next 4 rounds, we'll probably take a couple of safer vets that we can plug into the flex spots.
Yeah.
But I think between those 9 to 12 range, you can take a couple of shots on upside guys because they won't be there much longer.
Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Donaldson. Parker was a 5th rounder.
Yep. So yeah, that's where we're at. I got a couple more picks until we're up again. Have a couple of names we're eyeing and see if they fall to us.
Fire start so far. I love your team.
Appreciate it, man. It's been fun.
Right on. All right, so I am also in a startup, and man, it's been tough because this is the Memphis Young Memorial League.
Yeah.
So once all the DWZ Patreon leagues kind of die out, which unfortunately they will eventually because there's no big guy to keep it running. So this is the league that we will, I think, always keep running in his memory. I know Neil said he's Neil Gray. I give Neil I give him a hard time just because it's really fun. He's Scottish and Australian, so like the temper, just I could see the steam coming out of his ears. It's amazing. But he does such a great job, and I really love him for everything he's doing in this startup. Enough of the mushy stuff. Lots of awesome, really experienced players in this league. So it's been a tough startup, man.
Those are the best.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really been a lot of fun. And I think that everyone in this league is aware of that because there's only been like 3 trades.
Yeah, I don't really mind not trading in startups. If I'm not going to go productive struggle, I typically don't do many trades in a startup. I may move small, kind of like I did in our startup now. Let me get a spot or two and get this guy. But I'm not one to go and here's my 4th and 6th for 7th and 7th. I can't do all that.
I don't know how to do that math.
Yeah.
I have to go to calculators. I have to ask other people. I don't understand that math. So if I do it in the past, I've given up future draft picks to move up for a player that I think is worth that pick, but I won't do. And I think this is on a lot of people's minds. I won't do that now because next year's draft is too valuable.
Yeah. So we're actually thinking about doing it before we switch to yours completely.
Sure.
Tua and Travis Hunter are still sitting there going into the end of the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
So we're thinking about sending our 27 second and a later round pick to see if we can get an extra pick this turn. So we can grab Tua as our QB3 and then go like Travis Hunter and maybe J.K. Dobbins kind of thing. So
yeah,
we can
it's funny. I've bumped Travis Hunter up on my list too, just because he still has all that ability.
And immensely talented.
If things go differently than the way we think they will, what if BTJ does not, bounce back and just keeps going down?
A chance.
It really, there really is. A lot of that seemed mental, so you just can't predict that kind of thing.
Yeah. We'll see.
Right on. I can't coach my son anymore, so I can't. If you want to coach him, that's fine, but
no, thank you. But in the 10th or 11th round, I will take a shot.
Right on. All right, so you have my team brought up?
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Yeah. Any questions you want to ask me?
Well, you also had the 101, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't know the last 101 I've had, if I've ever had it.
I don't think I have either.
And then you said you got the 101, and I think 2 days later we randomized order, and I had the 101. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy. But, yeah, you also went Josh Allen.
Okay.
Were you thinking Drake May, or was it as simple for you as it was me?
I considered it, and I asked y'all. So,
okay.
And I will say this. I am deathly afraid of coming out of this draft and looking at my roster and going, where's all my players? You know what I mean? Like, I'm so afraid of messing this draft up that I leaned heavily on our Discord. You and Chad and all the other guys. Jamie, shout out Jamie. He's been a huge help. I'm not going to shout out the guys that are in the startup with me because they've not been a help.
Nah,
except for Austin GH. She's been cool.
Terrell Owens and Emmitt Smith was a good call on the turn. I thought that made a lot of sense.
Yeah. So really what I did was I just did value. We were talking about it before we started and you and I were both like, we tend to galaxy brain and just never come out with the team we want. And Chad chimed in with, yeah, it's because people are always trying to come out with a team. They're trying to build a team in a startup instead of going for value. And I thought that made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I did something similar. I thought I did in our listener league startup, but it was really, I was just going for like good young players. That doesn't work.
No,
it's value.
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't work. I really messed everything up, but I did have enough value on my team. It just didn't work together. That's why I was able to get so many picks to rebuild with this year. But, also,
is that what happened?
Yeah. Look at my running record in that league. Anyway, moving on. So I decided he was right, and I'm just going value. We're through 10 rounds, and I have one running back. But yeah, so I did ask you guys if you consider Drake May, and I like your argument that he's got to do it for more than 1 year for me to take him 101.
Now, I think if he does it one more year, he is the 101. But the thing is you're not buying it at a discount currently. It's the 102. Right. Okay, what are you going to get? Maybe a second to move back one spot? So for me, that's a lot more risk than Josh Allen. Aside from, I'm going to go ahead and knock on wood before I say it, people. Aside from Allen getting hurt, Allen's a top 3 startup pick the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
No matter what, realistically, outside of injury. So there's just a ton less risk of taking Josh Allen at 101 than Drake May.
May went later quarterbacks were not popular in this draft.
We'll see that. So that's what I wanted to bring up. In the second and third, you went quarterback, right?
Yeah. I
Who'd
kind of
you
had to.
get?
So I went Mahomes at 212, which I was just hoping and praying he fell there. It was really a no-brainer for me. And then third round reversal. So 312. And Dart was sitting there. And I was like, well, okay,
crazy.
Absolutely have to. I didn't have any Dart chairs, number one. And even if I did, I'm taking them.
Yeah.
I mean, he's at the top of that Bo Nix, Purdy. I don't know who else you would put in there.
I mean, he's one of those quarterbacks that can be a top 3 startup pick come this time next year. There's an absolute range of outcomes where if he stays healthy with his rushing upside, there's a real avenue that he could be 102, 103.
And the fact that he's got such an elite weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and now a solid, stable coach.
Right.
So, that all that helps. It is just really health for him is the question mark because the production was there. I mean, almost every week he was on the field, he produced. It's just, can he be healthy for a season?
I feel like that was a question mark for most rushing quarterbacks, and most of these guys figure it out. Lamar figured it out.
Yep.
He's not the only one, but Lamar, McNabb had that same issue earlier, or actually plagued him throughout his career. But he did figure it out, and he'll learn how to slide.
Yeah, I mean, 312 is absurd value. So that was probably I was going to say my favorite pick of your draft so far, but it may not be, and we'll get there in a minute. But in the beginning of the fourth, you got Tucker Kraft, and we haven't discussed your scoring, but it's 1.0 premium.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tight ends should be flying off the board, which assuming if Kraft was the one you took in the fourth, that means they did come off the board pretty good.
Yeah, I will say, well, they neglected tight end as a whole in this draft. We'll get into my later picks, just the guys that I got, I had to take, and I was trying to fill out my wide receiver room, but they kept leaving me these tight ends, and if you're going to leave me
1 point premium, you have to.
Yeah, exactly. It people don't understand. We talk about it all the time here, but I think people in general don't understand how much of a weapon that is.
Yeah, it's literally double people. Like 3 catches is 6 points. I mean, that's a big thing. Like it's just ginormous. I mean, it can absolutely make or break. Like there's no reason with what you've done so far that all your flexes could be tight ends. And that's perfectly fine each week because 4 for 44 gets you 12 points?
Yeah, 3 for 40 is 10. You know, so it is a start 13 league. So there's a bunch of flexes.
Yeah, ours is too, ironically. So pretty crazy.
Yeah,
same thing.
All right, yeah. So that's what my first 4 rounds.
Yep, first 4, and then in the 5th, you took Jordan Tyson. I like that range. It feels about right.
Yeah, he was the best. He was the best wide receiver talent on the board.
Yeah, and you went right back to the tight end well with Harold Fanning.
I wanted to take a receiver. Like Burden was there, and I'm not huge on Burden, but the value's good.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can always trade him for what I do want.
Yeah,
and I don't think that Burden is a bad player, and he's in a perfect situation for him, so he's very likely to succeed.
Yeah, I agree totally, and I didn't have an issue with Fanning or Burden when you were asking in the Discord.
Yeah. I just think that wide receiver is so much less scarce that I had to take the tight end.
Yeah, that makes sense because after Fanning, to me, the question marks start becoming a lot bigger for that position. Even the guy you take,
there's question marks.
Go ahead and discuss it.
There's plenty of question marks with Fanning.
Sure, but I think the usage is going to be there. No Njoku now. He is going to be on the field a very high amount, if I had to guess.
Oh, so yeah. And you look at their wide receiver room, you got 2 rookies, Judy and Tillman.
Correct. So, which really isn't a bad room. I mean, it's at least an average NFL room at this point, finally.
I guess, but you don't have anyone that commands targets. Fannin is probably the best receiver.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see about that. But there's an argument to be made, sure.
At least early on. Concepcion and Boston could absolutely, I just think it's going to take a little time. It usually does with most rookies, and these aren't, these aren't top of the food chain rookies. And what did you call Concepcion's hands in the Discord?
Heck, I forgot. Probably had multiple things.
Raggedy, I think.
Oh yeah, raggedy. That's exactly what it was. And they are, man. He did exactly what he did last year in college. He swiped at the ball.
Yeah.
And dropped it.
He doesn't always do that, and it's going to take a while to train it out of him.
Yeah, I agree. And he absolutely has the talent for that not to be an issue even this year, much less moving forward. But yeah, next round you win another tight end. Took Gadsden.
So we're all in the Discord, right? And now because a couple of the guys in the startup are in our Discord, where like the conversation started to bleed over into the league chat, from the Discord back and forth.
Awesome.
And so people start joining the Discord from the chat. So we got like 5 or 6 people, maybe 7, join, like boom, boom, boom. So now everyone in the startup is in the chat, which is pretty funny. And I'm telling them, like, people are starting to freak out because they think they at this point have screwed their draft up. And let me tell you guys, you haven't. You can always add value. You can always make trades. You haven't killed yourself. Just as long as you understand what your weaknesses are. Anyway.
No, I mean, you make a team from round 10 on anyway.
Yeah.
That's where you gain significant value. If you can hit on 5 players from round 10 to 30.
Oh.
That's where you literally make a dynasty team.
There's your bench. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, hopefully starters at that.
If you hit, still go starters.
But, yeah.
Yeah. So they're starting to freak out over tight end at this point. Before I took Gadsden, and I'm telling them, like, oh, all right, well, Laporte is still there, and somebody said Kincaid or whatever. I was like, look, Gadsden. I'm telling everybody, Gadsden is in that range. I mean, I have Gadsden right there with Fannin. He's a little bit behind Fannin, but he's the next spot for me. And I'm telling people, Gadsden's in that range, and nobody took him. And he came all the way back to me, so I was like, fine. I'll take the Chargers. I'll take the Chargers. He very well could be the number 2 weapon there. When you consider it's Trey Harris, second-year player, who shows promise, but in no way is definitely going to command targets. And then you have, rock hands that can't track the ball, QJ, who I actually do like and did consider, but not here, but a little later. Gadsden just looked great last year, and they're going to use him as a weapon. He's not going to be an inline tight end, not very much.
He shouldn't be in that offense. They didn't bring in enough weapons for him to be that anyway. So, I mean, they need to use him. That is the risk. Is as the season went, they quit using him. So,
it's a different coaching staff.
Correct. Which is another question mark. So, but it's also why you got him in the 8th round, basically 7-12. At that point, it's worth the risk, in my opinion. I would have Fannin clearly above him because I think there's considerably less risk in usage. But I also don't have an issue with where you're saying behind him. He's definitely in the next tier behind him.
And you know how I feel about that Chargers offense this year. And
yeah, I do.
I just want pieces. I want pieces where they make sense. What I'm giving up for them, I give. Like, I just trust McDaniels to be able to figure out how to use his best weapons.
Well, hope so.
Plain and simple.
I know people were saying he hadn't used his tight ends ever, but I mean, I remember Jonnu Smith being pretty dang good in Miami, and even when Waller was healthy.
That's right.
Waller was really good when he was healthy.
Waller was great last year.
Yeah. So
and then they started using Dulcich as well off the scrap heap.
Yeah. So I do have some positive hope for it, and I have a couple Gadsden shares, and I know Chad put us onto him early last year, and so I was able to get some. But yeah, I mean, it feels like a piece that could absolutely make or break your team, and I don't really mean that in like a negative way per se, but when you're this early, you need the piece to hit, and he is quite risky. So
yeah, I agree.
It could make a big difference for your starting roster. You might have to get lucky as the rounds go on.
He's a bit of a he's a bit of he's definitely a projection.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Similar
I
to
can't
Likely,
say
kind of like how you were saying with Likely. It's
yeah. I can't look at his um season, his one season in the NFL, and say, oh, I'm going to get that.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
So your next pick was actually, I think this is my favorite value in the draft. Travis Etienne at 8-1 is just ridiculous. I don't really understand how that's possible.
Man, Bucky went like 4 picks before that, and I was heartbroken because he made it so. I mean, I considered Bucky over Gadsden the round before,
Yeah.
or
No, that's the
whoever it
same
was.
round.
Whoever it was that round, I considered Bucky.
Fannin. Yeah.
Strongly considered Bucky. The lack of receiving work and the other backs that they have, Gainwell's going to steal a lot of that. Tucker's going to get some goal line. So the lack of, touchdowns and catches sort of backed me off of him there, but man, did I want him in the next round. And
yeah, for sure.
Our buddy Stroud took him. Some good pick by him.
Yeah, great pick. But I mean, so is Etienne.
Then Etienne fell, and I was like, boom, done. I don't even have to ask.
I really don't know who could have gone ahead of him for it to make sense to me. That's kind of what I don't understand. I mean, that's 7 times 12 is 84. It's the 85th pick in the draft.
I'll bring it up real quick. If you want to,
yeah, sure.
Talk about maybe who went after that. But here I got it. So Javonte, Kyron, right before Bucky, before that, Scat, McCaffrey, Barkley.
So that's just, I mean, that means you had 7 rounds, basically 6 rounds of hardly any running backs. So was the wide receiver pool just
wide receivers
out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
That's why my wide receiver room is
non-existent. Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's not non-existent, but it's
well, we can go ahead and get to it.
All right.
So you had Tyson at 5-12, and then you took, is it Pearsall and Addison? Is that correct?
Yeah, that was my last 9-10 turn.
Yeah. It still feels like pretty good value. I know
they're fine.
Addison's probably cooled off a little bit now with the Jennings signing, but he's a 24-year-old wide receiver that's proven he can be a steady wide receiver too. I don't have a problem with that.
I expect him to go back to his 24 numbers.
Hopefully. I mean, I think we're all excited for Kyler, but we've also seen Kyler struggle to feed an offense. He can usually feed 1 or 2 people, but feeding an offense, he struggled at. So
I mean, that's all we need is 1 or 2 people.
I mean, not really. I mean, we need JJ, Addison, Hawk? Jennings, Hawk. I mean, there's plenty of fantasy relevant people.
Juwan Jennings is on a 1-year, $8 million deal. They're not worried about feeding him.
I mean, it's not no money, but sure.
It's pretty low for a receiver.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm pulling for Addison. I think it's a good value where you got him, but there's a reason he went in the 10th round.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Hawk is actually washed or if that was all McCarthy.
Yeah, me too. As someone who believed in Hawk going into last year pretty heavily.
Same. I gave up a first for him.
Yeah, it was completely useless. It went from this is a great tight end 2 on my team to I can't even put him near a starting roster.
Right. Yeah, he can't even be. Yeah, I was counting on him as being my backup tight end on a lot of teams, and he just couldn't do it. Or like a fill-in flex, and I sat my bench all year. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be very interested to see that. I think your your sell window is dead. So
don't sell him now.
All you can do is hold him. You don't buy him. Like there's nothing in that situation that tells me like he's going to be worth a buy.
Agreed.
All right.
I mean, I don't agree with that. I think it depends on the cost. If somebody's willing to sell them, I mean, outside of Stowers, Claire, and Sadiq, I would take Hawk probably over any of the other tight ends. So, there's a third.
Goddard or Ferguson.
I said rookies. Like when you're in the rookie draft,
gotcha.
I think if you can get him in his cost can't be more than a third at this point.
Well, okay. If you can get him for that, I was thinking some kind of mid-second, which I would not pay.
I just don't know how he could be that. I mean, maybe he is, and I'm wrong, but
I wouldn't pay any second for him.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
A third or 2, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm wrong because Keep Trade Cuts got him even with an early second. Pick 203.
Ugh. Nah, it's just no. Oh, going back to Gatson a little bit, I have been acquiring him this offseason. I paid 110 and 207 for him. What do you think about
that. That's fine. I mean, it's fine. If you needed a tight end, I get it because there's not really going to be. I mean, I guess Stowers would have been your option.
Yeah, but I'm way higher on Gadsden than Stowers.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not way higher. I think there's a difference there, but 207 could also be a pretty intriguing piece. So it's a fine trade.
Stowers is blocked for a year, so his value's going to.
Yeah, until Goddard gets hurt. And,
well, that's true.
You know, and 12 personnel. I mean, there's going to be plenty of avenues that Stowers can see the field.
But big slot is not a great, because you got Lemon. So Lemon's going to occupy the slot a lot, and Devontae plays the slot very well. So,
well, that also, I also think Lemon, and you know how I feel about this. Well, I think both of those players can maneuver the field.
Yeah, I think
any issue.
I think they'll both play all over, but there's going to be a lot of competition for slot reps, is what I'm saying.
I mean, that's very true with the names that they have there. There's going to be a ton of. They have like 6 slot players. It feels like.
Yeah. Well, they also have your boy.
Which one? Elijah Moore. Oh, yeah. I'll say I got a lot of bad slot players that I love.
And they have Hollywood to play outside so that these guys can move around,
Yeah. If he's not washed, speaking of washed.
Yeah. I actually, he's on my watch list for Cam Cut. I don't know that he'll make the Eagles. I
think that's fair.
Anyway, go. Oh, and the other one was 112, 212, and 312.
Again, it's fine. If you need a tight end, I get it.
Yeah. And not a starter, he was second or third tight end on both of those teams. All right. Anyway, moving on. Oh, no, I guess that's it.
That's all right.
Yeah. Pearsall, the way I looked at Addison and Pearsall is, all right, value-wise, where are we in this draft? Well, I'd pay 107 for either one of those players, so that's good value.
So Concepcion was still on the board?
No. Concepcion was gone.
Okay.
But I'm saying in general, I'd pay 107 or 108 for Addison or Pearsall. So I felt like that's good value.
Yeah.
Pearsall's out. Like, people were pretty high on Pearsall. I've tried to.
Yeah.
Well, still this offseason, I tried to acquire him with like some 109s and 110s, and people were just like, nah, I'd rather just hold him and, see what's going to happen. He still has a lot of potential.
Okay.
So I got turned down trying to pay a late-ish first for him.
It's all health. That's all it is for him.
Yeah, right.
Can he stay on the field and be something? Because if he's on the field, it feels pretty nice, especially Mike Evans on the other side now.
Right.
He's the defense is gonna have to focus on someone else.
Who Neil took right before me, not right, like 5 picks before me. I was hoping he fell to this round. I would have taken Mike Evans at 9 or 10, no problem.
I think I'd have rather both of those guys you took.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Mike Evans is going to get it.
32-year-old receiver changing teams is terrifying to me.
I think he's going to get into that offense and smash, man.
Maybe. Yeah, I think there's a lot of question marks at that age.
There are. Absolutely. There are. And it's risky. But at this point in the draft, everyone's got at least one word.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Can Addison take his foot off the gas pedal,
Probably not, but we need him to keep it on the field pedal.
Yeah, on the field, keep all gas.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So those are the startups, man. Like I said, it's been so much fun. It's been so much fun talking about it in our Discord. So
yeah, for sure.
If you're not in our Discord, man, what are you doing? It's free.
Links in the show notes. People, come on.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. Let's talk rookies.
Let's do it. Where do you want to start?
Where'd we leave off?
We basically finished the first round outside of Eli Stowers, like rookie pick first round. Yeah.
Oh, so we didn't even get the Strib?
Nope. Oh, no, we did Stribling, correct. Okay. I was talking about actual rookie drafts. I figured we'd do it that way.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because there's going to, the second and third round is littered with blocking tight ends.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about them.
Yeah, I don't really want to bring those names up. So we'll just go ahead and go off for rookie picks. Okay. The only name we really didn't discuss in the first was Eli Stowers. We just teased him a couple minutes ago, but
yeah.
I'm pretty excited, to be honest. I think he is a great replacement for Goddard, who is on a 1-year deal. So even if it is 1 year of tight end 2 production in a team that's going to rely on 12 personnel a lot, I kind of like it. I mean, I'm not expecting I can put him in my tight end slot and start him often as a rookie,
Right.
but I think there will be weeks that I might be like, I could throw him as a flex.
We know one thing we know about Goddard is that he's going to get hurt.
Yeah, for sure.
Last year it was only a few games. He was in there for most of the season.
But as a rookie tight end, that's all you need sometimes. And
yeah, just get a nice flash for a couple games, and it keeps your value up.
Oh, it'll boom the value.
Yeah, but then when Goddard comes back, he is a starter because Stowers is not much of an inline player. You know, he's more. So
I've heard him talking about that, and he said that is his biggest challenge this offseason was, a lot of people said he's not a good blocker, and he also, he was a quarterback.
Yeah.
So he converted to tight end in college, working with Diego Pavia. Ironically, those were, they had a QB competition their first year together.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
He really 3 years at tight end, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
He volunteered the move to help the team.
Yeah,
which is
that's
awesome.
all it was. He wanted to be on the field.
Yeah.
And, he acknowledges that he's not the best blocker, but he also says you cannot deny my effort and attempts. And for a player that has that kind of drive that went from a quarterback to a tight end drafted in the second round in the NFL draft, that tells you that he has drive. So
that's true.
With
he
that
needs
kind
some
of
refinement.
Teaching, I don't think it'll take that long to be serviceable as a tight end blocker. And we know he's a weapon. I mean, broke basically yard per route run statistics for analytics.
He's a little raw as a receiver, but man, he's going to be good.
Yeah.
He's going to be really good. So you might see him more as like a Laporta, Kincaid type. But, if you're getting him in the late first, early second in this draft, that's fine. That's good.
I feel really good about it in the late first at this point. I think I've kind of talked myself into him being above Cooper and Boston in most situations.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I've only got
honestly,
one share.
Simpson, to be real with you.
Whoa.
And we kind of discussed this with Chad. It's just the fact that I believe I might have to wait at least 1 year. At least 1 year.
I'm looking at it as 2.
And that's worse. That's terrible.
It's all right. If in 2 years you're telling me I have the Rams starter, I have no problem with that.
We don't know that you do. What if they're not good? What if they end up with pick 11 1 year and take a quarterback? There's so many variables that in my first round, let me at least see if I'm going to get a guy that's good for 2 seasons.
They took him with pick 13.
Okay. I mean, they took Josh Rosen at pick 11 and the next year drafted Kyler Murray.
Yeah, but Josh Rosen at least got an opportunity to play.
Well, my point is if Stafford gets hurt and he gets opportunity to play, same thing with J.J. McCarthy.
Okay, well, it's not just that he went to the Rams. I like Ty Simpson. I think Ty Simpson is perfectly fit for that system.
I mean, we said that. We all said pre-draft that was the ideal landing spot.
Absolutely. I believe in the coach, and I believe in the quarterback with that coach. We talked about Ty Simpson being the best quarterback in college football for the first 7 games?
Yeah.
If you're telling me I can get that at 107, we did this last time.
We did. My point was Stowers is moving up for me because I believe that there's going to be an opportunity year one for a value boost, which at tight end is always important, as we just discussed with Gadsden. I mean, and Fanning.
I think there's a huge chance that he's a starter for you next year on your dynasty roster.
Who?
I'm Stowers.
Oh yeah, me too.
I mean, in 27.
Yeah,
it's very, very, very likely because Goddard will not be back.
Yeah.
He's done 2 1-year deals in a row, and this one was less than the last one, and he's 31, I think now. So, the writing's on the wall for Goddard. I love him, but he also did not have a good year blocking last year. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see what even happens this year. If he can't get the blocking done, then maybe
or Stowers.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Maybe he rotates with Stowers.
So next up, we'll go ahead and I kind of want to do these two because I view them so similarly in value.
Mhm.
Omar Cooper Jr. and Denzel Boston.
Yeah, like I said before, I can't I can't decide between the two. It's really hard. I think they're both really perfectly fit to be the number 2 receiver on their team.
Correct. Yeah. So I lean Cooper because I had him higher pre-draft, but I like Boston's situation better, an opportunity to become an alpha. Where the Cooper's not going to be the alpha in the Jets as long as Garrett Wilson is employed by the Jets.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why they're even for me, because pre-draft they weren't. I was considerably higher on Cooper than Boston. But so talent-wise, I lean Cooper a little bit still, even with the situations not being as clear. But Boston at least moved up for me now because, much as everybody wants to think KC is the guy, there's not a greater than zero chance that Boston is the guy.
I mean, Judy could return to 2 years ago, although this is almost certainly his last year there.
Yeah,
they have an out in the contract, and he's Jerry Judy, so I assume they'll take it.
I agree.
The problem with that, though, is that I just don't think Boston is an alpha. So if Judy is bad Judy and Tillman is hurt and ineffective as usual, or as he has been since that one good stretch he had, and Concepcion is dropping balls and not taking that role, I think they take somebody next year.
I mean, they might. It's absolutely possible.
I think they look at Boston and go, man, he's really solid number 2.
And that's fine, though. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him being a Michael Pittman of an offense.
Absolutely.
A guy that can be a 1B, basically.
I agree. That's worth 111, 112 in this draft, no problem.
Yeah. So that's why they're the same for me now. I know I preached for basically 2 months that they weren't. But situation boost for me for Boston and a little bit of down for Cooper.
Now, with Cooper, I think the landing spot is being overblown on the bad side. I think the negativity has gone too far. Geno Smith isn't the worst quarterback in the world. Is he going to be able to feed all of these targets or all of these weapons they have now? No. We're just hoping he can feed Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. So I don't think, but there's going to be design stuff for Cooper. So he is going to be on the field and he is going to get something, right? I have supreme confidence that he beats out A.D. Mitchell for target share at some point this year. But he's such a pro-ready player, Cooper, that I think he can step right in pretty quickly. The problem is, the quarterback that can't really distribute the ball the way you want him to. But no problem. Their roster, otherwise, their defense is hot dog water.
I'll be curious to see.
I want to let you decide. Okay. Is it the water that comes out of the hot dog pack, or is it the water that's left after you cook the hot dogs? If you're boiling them.
That's what when I think of hot dog water, I think of the boiled water.
There's also that little water that comes out of the package.
That's juice. That's not water.
Okay, that's hot dog juice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, that's that's like Sam Darnold Jets. Like Sam Darnold, that's hot dog juice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. But so they're gonna have a high pick next year, and there's tons of studly quarterbacks coming out. So they're gonna have a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean they have 3 first too. So
yeah.
There'll be no issue for them to get a quarterback and still work on that defense that you just called the boiled hot dog water.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can also pretty much depend on them to blow that pick.
I'm not going to do that. I understand the thought process, and that's absolutely possible. But I thought they did pretty good in this draft. I thought they did. Their first 3 or 4 rounds were pretty solid picks. I think they made the right decisions on pretty much all of them. So I don't really have an issue to say that maybe they do good again. And obviously the quarterback position is totally different. And until they get it right, we're going to make jokes like that. But I think there's an avenue that a quarterback's going to be able to step into this and have a competent team around him, which that's been a huge problem for the Jets quarterbacks.
With most likely a new head coach.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
I doubt Aaron Glenn survives this.
For sure.
I mean, really to no fault of his own.
Yeah, I know somebody teased Mike McDaniels to the Bucks next year, which is quite possible. Mike McDaniels to the Jets with his quarterback of choice and that
Yeah.
skill position group and O-line.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty enticing too.
And his choice of which quarterback he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that is and it's New York, high profile, high money.
It's going to be an enticing job with the draft capital they have. And they just re-signed Brees, 3-year, $45 million.
Yeah.
So, Brees is there, Garrett Wilson's there, two high, flashy rookies. So it's going to be enticing for an offensive-minded coach.
So in my Eagles text chain that I have, a group of friends that I grew up with, man, they dogged them for that signing. You don't have a quarterback. How can you spend Saquon money on Brees Hall? And then they're putting up and then they start putting up his rushing stats only, no receiving stats, that kind of stuff. I'm like, come on, guys, it's not a bad deal. It's a 2-year, $15 million a year contract.
Yeah,
there's no guaranteed money in the third year. How is that bad? It's $15 million a year for a top 5 talent at running back.
I mean, no offense to Jeremiah Love, the player. It's a lot smarter than taking Jeremiah Love 3rd overall.
Agreed.
How they signed a 4-year, $53 million fully guaranteed contract.
How they didn't take a defensive player or an offensive lineman is beyond me.
Yeah, but that's we'll discuss that, I'm sure, as we get into training camp and stuff more. But just I think getting back to Cooper real quick before we keep going, because there's going to be a lot of names. I guess my biggest negative is Frank Reich is the OC. I know you have fond memories of Frank Reich, but I sure don't.
Well, he won us the Super Bowl and all, but after that, he's just he just lost his mind. Well, really, what happened is the game changed and he didn't.
Correct. So, is he going to be able to be good enough in this offense to make something relevant? Because he was not a good play caller for the Carolina Panthers. I can tell you that.
Or the Jaguars.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's the Jets are a jumbled mess. Like I said, we're just hoping they can feed Wilson and Brees this year, see some flashes from Cooper
and Sadiq,
which that's a lot to ask, man.
Not really for flashes, as long as you're not trying to trust them in your starting lineup weekly, which we've preached for months. Don't trust these late first in your lineup. That's why I said trade them. Get you starters you can feel comfortable trading them for.
Yeah. Once the NFL draft happened, though, cat was out of the bag. Good luck.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah, absolutely. You just take the picks there. I mean, I tried. I tried some wild trades with these late first, early seconds, and people were like, "No, thank you." And I was like, "Man, it's a first. Come on, dude. Like, what do you mean?"
Same. Well, the one thing I have been able to get done consistently in this range all off season is Brenton Strange.
I believe it. I mean, I probably would do it too, to be honest with you.
Paid 201, paid 204, paid 207 and 307. I don't think I gave a first for him.
Okay, so I like all those. Then I'm fine with all those prices.
But that's generally this range because I've seen Boston and Stowers pop into the second way more times than I expected.
I think I've only seen it once, but I didn't have a ton of leagues for it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I'm gonna let you have your rant now because I'm going off of current consensus ADP. So I'm gonna link these two guys together and go with Jonah Coleman and Nicholas Singleton.
Don't do it.
They're currently the 2-1 and 2-3.
All right. So in Jonah Coleman, we're talking about a 4th round running back.
Correct.
Without a receiving profile. Doesn't do anything great. He's slow. He's a good back. He's a good backup that they took in the 4th round. I think what people don't understand is Dobbins has his role. Harvey has his role. Harvey's role has a chance to expand this year if he takes a step in the offseason, but most likely you're going to see what you saw out of Harvey last year, right? Which is receiving work, goal line work, receiving work around the goal line, big plays to make him worthwhile. And then Dobbins is going to do the dirty work. But we also know Dobbins is going to get hurt doing it. And last year when that happened, they had to go with this awful committee of Tyler Bidet and Jaleel McLaughlin and my cousin Ray and whatever else they could scrape together. And they're sick of that crap. Yeah. So they took Coleman to be Dobbins' backup.
Yeah, because Dobbins is getting paid 2 for $20.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's going to be a starting back this year.
And Jonah Coleman is has never been anywhere near Dobbins level talent. If you forget,
even injured Dobbins.
Yeah. I mean, and he's not old man. He's been around a while. So it seems like he's getting old. He's not that old.
Yeah.
What is he, 27?
Yeah, I think he's like recently turned 27.
That was the Swift, Cam Akers, Najee should have come out this year but stayed in. ETN should have come out that year but stayed in. They're all the same age, these guys.
Yep.
So I'm forgetting Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. And CEH.
Out of the league.
Yeah. So that's what this is. That's perfectly brings to this. That's what this is. Jonah Coleman and Nick Singleton are much more discounted because CEH was the 103, 104 in a class that had Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor, Kyle Pitts, Joe Burrow. A ridiculous class.
Yeah.
But that's what these guys are. You're taking day 3 running backs in front of round 2 receivers and tight ends.
And with Singleton, it's even worse because he's going to the Titans, number 1. All right. So I understand there's opportunity there, I guess, but you still have Pollard and Tajay Spears to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, neither one are world beaters, but they're both solid. I mean, Spears looks good when he's healthy. Every time he's healthy, he looks good.
2,000-yard seasons with them. And
Pollard does, not Spears.
Pollard, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Singleton wasn't even good in college. Yeah. He's going to all of a sudden, maybe he'll have LASIK. Get some vision. I mean, Singleton's not even a good player, and he went in the 5th round. They're taking a flyer on this guy with his athleticism, and he can catch a little bit. Yeah. And actually, I will tell you this. He can pass, bro. He's probably the best. Outside of Jeremiah Love, because he worked on that. Yeah, he's probably the best pass pro, but so what? This guy, that is a 3rd round flyer.
Correct.
In rookie drafts.
Or in this class, let's call it 208 and later.
I wouldn't do that. I would, both of these guys are 3rd rounders.
I'm fine in the late 2nd. I don't think I have any shares of either because they all went too early for me. But
too many of these receivers that we're about to talk about are available in the 2nd round, late 2nd round for me to even consider it.
Yeah.
I would even take some of the later tight ends over these guys. Like the Delps and Raredons.
No, I wouldn't do that. No.
I would.
Not there. They're too project based for me. And I know you, like you said, Delp is, and he is.
He is.
So that's why he's going in the 3rd.
And so is Raridan. Neither one of them have huge production profiles in college.
All right, let's get to somebody I do really like. Mm-hmm. His ADP is a little high for me at 2.2. Chris Bell.
That's high.
Took him in the 3rd round. Going above multiple receivers taken in the 2nd and before him in the 3rd. And I'm sure it's opportunity. Being in the Dolphins, they don't really have a wide receiver now. So I'm sure that's why, but I don't think he's going to be ready. And at that point, you're kind of nixing your value gain if he's not even ready until November.
Right.
So that I do have a couple shares because I believe in the player and the opportunity is great. So if he surprises me, but 2.1, 2.2, where I've seen him go a ton, feels a little high for me.
Yeah, and even if he was healthy, he's got work to do.
Healthy, this is a perfect spot. 2.1 would be perfect healthy.
I'm just saying, even if he's healthy, he's got work to do.
Sure.
He's got a lot of polish to put on his game. He's a bit raw. I love him. He's the most talented player in the 2nd round of rookie drafts, I would say.
Agreed.
But if you're hurt, now you're behind, you're not even you're not a full participant in camp, that work's not getting done. Yep. So it's getting delayed. This is not Jameson Williams, who's super talented and polished coming out.
Yeah. The perk is he's not going to have a lot of competition. So if he is able to be ready this season health-wise, he's going to be on the field because there's not enough competition. So that is where the opportunity becomes a plus. is he's going to see it as long as he's able to be healthy.
Okay. There's plenty of guys well, there's a few guys I'd take him off.
I'm sure this one right here, Jeremy Bernard, this
Yeah.
is one.
Yeah. Really, I mean, this is a perfect landing spot for early value gain. Aaron Rodgers is going back there. We know that, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's 80% at this point.
I'd say 90.
Okay.
All right. So Aaron Rodgers does nothing but throw the ball short at this point. He needs a quick open guy like Bernard. He's going to fit perfectly well, and he's an Alabama guy, so you know he's going to be a pro, and he's going to be where he's supposed to be, not pull a bunch of rookie crap that pisses Aaron Rodgers off. I really like him in this range.
Yeah, that would be the key for me. That's my worry is Aaron Rodgers doesn't care if they're good at what they do or not. If he doesn't like them, he doesn't get the ball.
True.
And so with a rookie, that is a huge worry for me, is if Bernard's not able to quickly pick up the system and he misses one or twice in a game or even, training camp, he just won't look his way anymore. They'll go in and bring Alan Lazard again. And so,
well, I mean, they have DK and Pittman, so there is a lot of competition for targets. But even if that doesn't happen, I still believe in the talent enough that, in a year when Rodgers is gone and DK is gone, probably Pittman stays, Jimmy Bernard's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think he's that talented of a player to withstand multiple years of being a wide receiver 2. I just don't think he's that talented. I think he's an okay player.
I think I think he, in a good situation, is a low-end wide receiver 2.
Of an offense or for fantasy?
For fantasy.
Oh, no, I'm talking about for offense. I think he's a low-end wide receiver 2 for an offense.
No, I think he's better than that. Yeah. Middle of the road.
Yeah, you were higher on him pre-draft, so that's.
I like him.
I think he's fine. I got one share at 2.4, 2.5.
He's way better for an NFL team than it really is for fantasy. He does all the little things right, and coaches. He's like
Tyler Boyd is who he reminds me of. I think that's how he succeeds. Is how Tyler Boyd succeeded in Cincinnati.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd. That's a good one.
That's how we hope he can succeed.
If you remember Jason Avant.
I remember the name. I don't know what he did much, but
just when you needed a third down, he was open, and there's no chance he's dropping.
Yeah, but that tells you that you don't even really believe he's fantasy relevant because Avant wasn't fantasy.
No, he wasn't. No,
so
he wasn't.
That kind of peats into my exact point.
Yeah, I hear you, and slot receivers are losing target share with all the heavy personnel these days. But
yes and no. I mean. I don't know if I agree with that either, but
no, that is a thing.
I think below average slot receivers are seeing less snaps. I agree with that, but a slot receiver,
just with all of the 12 and 13 personnel, there's no slot receiver.
Sure,
and teams, and not every team, but teams are going to that very heavily.
Yeah. I'm going to skip a couple names because I don't agree with this consensus, and we're going to go to the next group of guys. Malachi Fields, Ted Hurst, and we're going to go ahead and put in Deshaun Stribling here, which we talked about him quickly last week, but I did want to throw him in where I believe he should go, which is in that 2.1 to 2.5 range.
Yeah, I like Stribling at 2.1.
I think I'm getting to the point where he might be at the top of that list for me.
Yeah.
And it's really opportunity based as anything because I don't necessarily believe in any of these guys enough to say, oh, this is the guy. I did forget Antonio Williams. That's another guy in that range.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, he's in that.
Anybody specifically stick out to you want to talk about first of the names I just said?
Well, yeah, quickly Stribling. I have 4 or 5 shares, so I've gotten to the point where I had to stop taking him. He's always available, and he's an excellent blocker. You talk about a driven player. He's a driven player, and he's very coachable. I think he's going to take that Juwan Jennings role in San Francisco's offense. And, there's no – if you're counting on Kittle and like all of these reports that he's going to be ready, that was a gnarly injury. He's not going to be ready.
Yeah, so I'm not going to count out on that kind of player until I see it.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Kittle and Evans that are both 100 years old in that offense. Pearsall can't stay healthy. I really like, and they jumped at dribbling, which
Yeah.
means they really like him.
Yeah, I mean, we talked last week. They were taking him in the first. They
Yeah.
just were able to get a trade back to not have to.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's in this class, that's enough for me.
Yeah, I agree because nobody else. I mean, Antonio Williams is intriguing for year one production.
Yep. I like him too. So
but again, I don't think he's that talented. I think him and Jeremy Bernard are very similar talented level players.
agreed. He's a slot player. He can definitely move to Z and play flanker, no problem.
Yeah, he played outside in Clemson at 24 pretty well.
And they have TMC, to play X. So I really like it. They just don't have no other good receivers.
I mean, they're going to have Ayuk at some point this offseason. I think that's, not written in pencil, at least.
There's at least a 50% chance that he's cooked.
I don't agree with that high, but there's a percent chance for sure.
He hasn't played in a year and a half.
I mean, Calvin Ridley did as well, and he was
cooked.
He was okay for multiple seasons. I mean,
exactly compared to what he was, one of the best route runners in football.
Sure, but
he's now cooked.
If I'm not mistaken, he had multiple 1,000-yard seasons in Tennessee.
Okay, but they were ugly and inconsistent.
Oh, that doesn't matter. Still scores you points.
Okay, but he was not. But he was
not.
What
it really does is it does targets. It takes targets away.
I guess. I mean, that's a big if he goes there and if he can still play.
Yeah, you're right.
Antonio Williams is as ready-made day one slot receiver as you're going to find.
I do agree with that completely.
So again, with the other options, I love it. That's if you're telling me that's somebody that I may be able to use as a flex this year, at 2-3 in the dreaded 2026 draft, all day.
All right. I kind of think for me personally, there's a little tier from the guys we just named to the guys we hadn't yet.
Right.
So I want you to try to rank. Or let's say this starts at 2-1. Give me like your 2-1 through 2-6. Let's put in. We got Bernard, we got Chris Bell, Antonio Williams, Stribling.
It depends a little bit on what I need and how many seconds I have because I'm known to hoard seconds. So it depends on what I think I can get.
Well, give me your best play. Like, give me your
in general.
If you're doing the ranking,
Stribling, Bernard, Williams, and then the next three are so hard between Bell, Hurst, and Fields.
Okay.
So if it's a rebuild, I'm probably going to go Bell. Right? If it's a team that if like the listener league where I need to score points to stay out of last place and get relegated, I took Williams. So and then with Hurst and Fields, like Hurst I see as the better player by a pretty good margin than Fields. But Fields has a tremendous opportunity to get targets early.
For sure.
So that has to play in. And I think he's the type of player that Harbaugh's going to love. He's going to monster block people on the outside and just be a big physical presence, and he's going to be on the field. With Hurst, I like Hurst more than like Jalen McMillan and Tez Johnson and the other Johnson that they have there. I think he's way more talented than those guys. I think he's not as talented as Egbuka, and Godwin's old. So like he may have some trouble getting on the field early. What he has to his advantage though is he plays X, where none of those guys are natural X players.
McMillan's a natural X and also very good at it.
I think he's better in the slot.
He had 8 touchdowns in 24. Like we can't ignore that. He didn't get to see the field much last year with injuries, but I'm going to give you my list and we can kind of go straight into Hurst because I didn't get to bring that up. This is in a vacuum. It's probably Bell, Stribling, Williams, Bernard, Fields, Hurst. And those two are interchangeable for me.
Okay.
For me with Hurst, I just don't see a good opportunity if these players are healthy. He's going to see the field.
That's a big if.
I mean, sure.
I mean, they
Of
have
course.
players that are known for getting hurt.
Yeah, of course. But that's really for every team, if we're going to be honest. I mean, obviously more guys play than others, but I think if McMillan's healthy, he's going to be the main X in that offense. I mean, he's proven he can be successful in the NFL. He just got hurt last year and wasn't able to play much. And it really sucked because when Mike Evans got hurt, he would have been a perfect replacement. He just was hurt. So
I think you and I see that differently. I can't wait to find out who's right.
Yeah, I have no idea, and it could be Hurst, but Hurst is going to have a big challenge of competition.
Yeah,
the level.
I agree.
I mean, he looked great in the FCS. That doesn't really mean much. I was a big Bryce Lance guy. The NFL told us that they didn't really love him. So,
but Hurst got decent draft capital, and he showed out at the Senior Bowl. He was the big story at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, well, that's probably what made him that pick, if we're going to be honest, especially in the Dynasty community.
Right.
I don't know. I was hotter on Hurst right after the draft, and the more I've kind of thought about it and done my in the head projections, he kind of went towards the back of that tier for me.
The way I see it is, I think Fields has a much better chance to get targets early. But over their career, I just think Hurst is a better player than Fields. And I think by next year, Hurst is going to be hands down the better player for Dynasty.
I think if we're talking long term, I think they're both replaceable and will be replaced in 2 to 3 years.
I think Hurst is a good player that'll hang on there. I think Egbuka, Hurst, and you add a speed player to that is a good wide receiver room.
Yeah, maybe.
I think he's better than you think he is.
I think he's fine. I think most of these players in this second round are fine. That's why I have Bell at the top, because I think he's actually above fine on the talent level of things.
But that is a good point. There are a ton of stud receivers coming out next year.
Yeah, a lot. Well, and we don't know this. This is something I will absolutely harp on as the season goes. We're going to have a lot of names go into 28, so get 28 first where you can. Because a lot of these guys are going to say, I'm going to come back one more year if I can. I'm going to earn me this extra $1 million of guaranteed money, and they're going to come back. So while 28 first are depressed, grab them. I've got a couple leagues where I'm not just a bona fide contender, and I think I have 3 or 4 first in each one of those leagues in 28 because they were cheap.
Great.
You're able to move. Like I moved 109 for the 2.5 and a 28 first. So, they wouldn't even touch the 27 first straight up. But I threw that offer out, and I got that accepted 2 or 3 times. Shout out Chad for bringing that idea up, moving for future first instead of 27.
That's a great idea.
Chad. Yeah, it's that's something that I think is going to be we're kind of overthinking currently with how dominant the class feels in 27.
Yeah.
I think we have probably 5 to 10 names that would be like, dang, they're not coming out.
I mean, there's still so many names that it's still going to be a loaded class.
For sure.
I think it's going to be one of those years where you're like, that guy's available? Like that guy at 305? Hell yeah.
Yeah. And like the class with Devonta Smith and Waddle, getting him at 111, 112 was insane value. I think it will be like that next year.
But we talked about it a little bit earlier, like that year that we thought was going to be the most loaded running back class ever. You got Najee, and which, say what you want about Najee, he was a really good prospect.
Yeah, for sure.
Not Najee and Etienne go to the next season, really thinned it. Now you're looking at Cam Akers was never supposed to be a first rounder. No.
So yeah, that's something I'm going to bring up multiple times this offseason.
Love it.
Aim for 28s when you can't get a 27 done. But let's move to this back of the second round. Just going to kind of throw out some more receivers because I think that's kind of the main targets here, and then I'll hit the non-receivers that I think should go in this range. You got Elijah Surratt, Chris Brazzell, Zachariah Branch, Skylar Bell, Jacoby Lane, maybe. I think those are the next set of receivers, probably late second, early thirds.
They're all third rounders except for Surratt for me.
I like Brazzell in the late second.
He's got a lot of competition too.
He's got 2 receivers. He's got no tight end competition.
Brazzell?
Yeah.
He's not a tight end.
Well, my point is for targets, for touches. That's what matters.
Okay.
So I think he's going to be the starting Z in the Panthers offense week 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And so Coker's the big slot, and
correct. And T-Max is the main X. And they'll switch those around because all three are interchangeable at each position.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe in 11 personnel.
And old Dalabio,
he's going to have to earn his touches.
Right on. I hope he has a good offseason, man.
Canales is extremely high on Brazel.
Okay.
Like extremely. Like after they drafted him, he was like, this was literally one of my favorite players in the entire class. Said that to national media.
So unfortunately for me, I don't have much of this tier because the tier that we just talked about kept falling.
Yeah,
to where,
same here. Same
so
here.
I'm taking all those guys first.
Yeah.
But I like Surratt because there's a lot of he's a big slot. He had to be taken by a team that's going to use him as a big slot, and they've already come out and said we're going to use him as a big slot. That's what we see him as. He's basically Likely's replacement.
Yeah, which is fine. That's a good role for him.
That's a good late second round pick to me. If you see a guy that's got some talent, not the fastest player in the world, good hands, going to contest, great at contested catches.
Because he can't get open, but yeah.
Because he can't get open.
Can catch it. At least he can catch it contested.
Man, we got torched in our comments for that, by the way.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, somebody thought that. Somebody said, "Oh, guys called 7-Eleven always open, not for any reason." What do you mean he can't separate? Blah blah blah. So I referred him to. I quoted Matt Harmon and referred him to his profile in Reception Perception, and didn't hear anything back.
Did we get plugged back from Matt Harmon for the plug?
No.
Next time.
Unfortunately, next time. Yeah, I'll remind him next time I talk to him.
Perfect.
So but Brazel I do like. I think I did nail one share of him. Jacoby Lane.
Yeah, the situation sucks. He was somebody I was excited about pre-draft. I don't really want to see him there.
And I wasn't really. He is super raw. He only does a couple things well.
Yeah. I would have loved to see him with Josh Allen. That's kind of the piece.
That would have been nice.
Justin Herbert replacing, because him and Trey Harris are really similar for me.
Or Drake May.
Yeah.
Somebody that can throw dots 50 yards downfield. Yeah.
Because he's really good at that. And he does get open deep.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I don't have any shares, even though I was a fan pre-draft.
I'm sorry, going back to Brazel a little, that is kind of a little bit of my issue with him.
Which part?
Is Bryce going to be able to see him downfield?
Bryce throws one of the most accurate deep balls in the league. He just didn't throw it last year.
Yeah.
He only had like 41 opportunities. Well, I think that's the play calling. I think that's the play calling, and Canales has talked about it. So I'd be curious to see that, they changed play callers. Izek is the play caller now. So I'd be curious to see if he gets more opportunities. They also didn't have anybody that won deep.
Yeah. True.
T-Mac and Coker both excelled intermediate. And they didn't have anybody. So I'm curious to see what this does, if it will make Bryce. But I mean, Bryce was like second in the league in deep ball percentage, completion percentage, but only had 41 attempts. So it was like half of Stafford. Stafford had like 83, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's obviously temper expectations, but we're talking about the late second at this point.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the field, so it's worth a shot.
All right, who else did we have? Anybody else we can talk about in that?
Name that I wanted to bring up, and I want to preface a big reason. So I play in a couple leagues that do kick return and punt return yards. Zachariah Branch is a steal in the late second at that point, because not only is he going to be on the field for the slot usage, gadget usage, stuff like that in that offense, he's going to absolutely be the punt return and kick returner.
So you're telling me I got to spend a second on a gadget returner guy?
I mean, did you not start Shamari DK last year in flex positions? Because I did.
Once or twice in Einstein's, I guess.
But in this draft, who else are you going to take? I mean, I will get to a couple positions that I like more, but my point is at that point, he's somebody that does at least excite me.
Not me. He's on my do not draft list.
Yeah, well, you've been wrong before, so it's okay.
Hey, if you're not wrong in this business, you're not trying.
Fair enough. Skylar Bell is another name we talked about or brought
Yeah,
up. Excuse me.
yeah. I mean, I like
He's
Skylar
definitely
Bell.
a third. Definitely a
Yeah,
third.
he's
for me.
definitely a third, but he's just blocked by so many other slot receivers in Buffalo.
Yeah,
but I do like him.
yeah, very solid player. Speaking of NFL ready for slot, he is that.
Yeah, agreed.
He is day one ready. The problem is, like you said, they already have some of those. He's blocked by another that was day one ready in Khalil Shakir.
Yeah,
So,
and Dalton Kincaid's a big slot.
Yeah. Well, we just need Kincaid to be healthy to see what his role can actually be. That's really been his big issue recently.
And Keon Coleman's a slot.
Yeah,
big
which
slot.
they won't use him at that, but that's what he is.
Well, hopefully DJ Moore plays outside.
I agree. I mean, I definitely think he will. All right, let's get off of receivers. We hit most of the important ones. Max Clare.
Oh, shoot.
Carson Beck.
I forgot Max Clare. Max Clare's mixed in with that Ted Hurst, Antonio Williams tier for me.
Yeah, in a 0.5 league, he's probably towards the end of that tier for me, right with Hurst and Fields. But I was actually just saw a stat this week. The Rams tight end room put up the second most fantasy points in football last year, behind the Cardinals, which was basically McBride. But
it's just spread around.
It's spread around, but Higbee's 34.
Yeah.
You know, oh my
but
gosh,
Parkinson, they like Parkinson and Davis Allen.
Yeah, but that's the thing. To me, Terrence Ferguson, Davis Allen,
second on him.
Yeah, I mean, you also just spent another second on Max Clare.
Yeah.
So that tells me somebody in that room is getting demoted.
Well, then they're going to run a lot of 12 and 13. 12 and 13.
We just named 4 tight ends. So,
yeah.
But yeah, obviously it's not all going to go to Clare. That's not what I'm trying to say. But point is I think the opportunities will be there.
Yeah, it's conflicting for me. If it wasn't so crowded, he'd be 2-1 or 112.
Yeah, I agree. I'd probably have him over Stowers,
110,
to be honest.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be above Stowers.
Yeah.
Like even if it was just him and Ferguson, and I could count on just those two guys, concentrating targets, he'd be at late first, high second for me.
I think
he's
this is
good.
I think this is a player we're going to regret allowing to fall to the late second, which is where we've seen. I think he's more talented than probably any of those guys, except for maybe Parkinson currently. And today, I think Higbee at one point was better, but again, 34. I think Parkinson and how they use him fits perfectly for the type of player he is.
Yeah.
But I think Clare is an NFL-ready tight end. I don't think he needs that developmental time for blocking, for route running, for hands. I think he's ready. So I could see him taking that tight end 2 role in year 1.
I was disappointed when the Eagles took Stowers because it wasn't Max Clare.
Yeah.
Like as good a prospect as Stowers is, good a weapon he is to get in the second round, which I should have been psyched. I should have those 2 draft nights they were jaded for me because our first pick, we trade up and we punk the Steelers for Lemon. And we get this amazing weapon that I didn't think we had any shot, really. I thought we were going to be like in the Concepcion range if we took a receiver. But then that just, I've been truthing against the A.J. Brown trade. So that made it, that solidified it. That made it concrete in my mind. So now I'm depressed. And then they take Stowers and I'm like, it wasn't Max Clare. Even though Stowers is awesome and I should be pumped. But I'm just saying that's how much I like Max Clare.
Yeah, me too. He was my tight end too.
Yeah, and the blocking, the dual threat, the blocking and the receiving is gunning.
He's a Trey McBride type player. That is the type of tight end he is.
Okay, he's nowhere near that talent.
I don't disagree with. I mean, I don't agree with that. I think as a prospect,
Trey McBride catches
now
that
he does.
Clare.
He didn't do that in college.
Trey McBride was a prospect in college too.
I think Clare is in a similar mold of player. I'm not saying they're the same talent. I think I said the same type of tight end.
Okay.
All right, Beck and Aller. Let's go ahead and any excitement for either?
No, I don't have any shares.
I have plenty of Beck, to be honest, in that late second.
In the late second? Nope. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think he has a real opportunity to start, and that's all I care about.
Oh, but I don't think he's any good.
No, that's fine.
I think
if he gets that starting job, he's worth more than what I paid.
I think he's going to be terrible, and he's going to get drafted over, and anybody that trades for him is an idiot.
I mean, this is the exact same situation as Shuck last year.
Except I thought Shuck was a good prospect.
Okay, cool.
But I think Carson Beck is not a good. He's not going to be a good NFL player.
But I don't need him to be. That's not the point. I'm taking him in the late second or early third round. I don't need him to be a good prospect. I need him to become a value gain.
Right on.
And that's what I believe he absolutely can be. Same thing with Aller. I actually think Aller can be a good NFL quarterback. And I think a year behind Aaron Rodgers is exactly what he needs.
You might have to shoot for 29 picks on that one.
Which one?
Beck.
If Beck becomes a starter, I'm going to get a 27-second heartbeat. It might not be from you. That's fine. I got 10 other managers I can talk to.
You can take the might out of that sentence.
That's fine. And I can't wait till that day comes. Because the thing is, for you, is you're so spiteful, you won't pay it no matter what.
Not a chance. Not a chance. I am one of the most spiteful and vengeful people you'll ever meet.
I know, believe me. Mr. I send back 2/3 for Daniel Jones after he's a QB1. I know. But yeah, it's all about value gain at that point. This class is so weak to me and so flat. Give me the quarterback that has a real chance to start.
No, it's too gross for me. Yeah, I'd rather just take a player that I think has a chance to be good.
You'd rather take Elijah Surratt, which is crazy to me. He's not a good player in not a good situation.
I mean, I haven't been in that situation that I've had to. I don't have any Surratt. I would like to, but I don't. Like I said, all of the receivers that I like keep falling to me in the late seconds, so it's fine.
So yeah, that's
because people are doing that stuff. And Aller, no,
Aller in the third every time. I probably have 3 or 4 shares. I took in the third.
Okay, late third. I have no problem with that.
I'm not doing it in the second. No.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. No way in the second.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not taking him in the second, and I'm only taking Beck after that first tier of receivers and Clay are gone that we talked about. Because like Brazel and Beck, I mean, I like Brazel. He's on my team. He's on the Panthers. But Beck has a better chance to gain value than Brazel does this year.
Okay. I mean, that I can't argue with, but I see them all as third-round players. But they can't all be third-round players because there's not enough players ahead of them until the second. So
that's right.
It just hasn't come up for me. So if everyone's taking our advice, then I would be screwed and I'd have to take Brazel.
Yeah. Which they did. Looking at these drafts we were in, they did not.
That Beck play is just such a gross it's just such a gross grab at a hopeful value game that I can't stomach it personally.
All right, I'm going to bring up the last 4 running backs we're going to talk about today. Emmett Johnson, Mike Washington Jr., 5, Katron Allen, Damon Claiborne, and Keelan Black.
Emmett Johnson, I like. He's probably going to take that Kareem Hunt role.
Are you comfortable in any of those in the second round?
Not really, no. But I would take Emmett Johnson if I was really pressed. I probably would take him over like Beck or I don't know about Brazel, but I'd take him over Jacoby Lane.
Okay. Yeah, they're all third and fourth round guys for me. I've gotten a lot of them in the third. Well, Katron kept going earlier than I wanted. I have 0 shares. Again, somebody I like. But a 6th round running back, he's at the 3rd round pick for me. Like, I'm not reaching on that.
The problem with me is that the next tier of tight ends that we're going to talk about is above this tier of running backs.
They're kind of in the same tier for me, like especially Washington and Johnson. They're kind of in the same tier for me.
I had automatic trigger finger on the tight ends. I couldn't stop myself.
I know. I saw.
I've been taking them all.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the receiving guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not taking the blockers.
I got you. So Claiborne and Black,
Claiborne is just, I like him a bit. The landing spot is really good. There's not a lot of competition in Minnesota. I mean, we just assume this. I mean, Aaron Jones and who else?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, the same guy that they had last year.
Yeah.
Not good and gets hurt.
Yeah. Sounds like a Washington running back.
Yeah. So, I mean, here, I know what team I have him on. I'm going to look him up right now.
Yeah, for me, Black's interesting.
Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
So, like, the competition's not real stiff, but he's tiny. I mean, he's got explosive speed. I just don't think you're going to see it much volume. I'm fine with him in the third.
Yeah. I have
just
Black ahead of him.
Okay.
I think he's got a clear chance to be the RB2 in San Fran. And that's a really valuable position in Dynasty.
Yeah. I mean, he's very good at outside zone.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a lot of what they run.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they run more gap than they used to, but they're an outside zone.
I think that's
to
feed CMC. I think that's because CMC is so good at gap. Yeah, I think Black in the mid-third is a great value for what you can get. Because
I'm fine with it.
You know, there's really nobody else that impresses me in that group outside of McCaffrey. So
yeah, I'm fine with it. If you have Genty, I'm also fine with taking Washington in the third.
Yeah, I took him on teams I don't have Genty because that's what I like to do. I like to have somebody else's handcuff instead of Mr. Old Man Jesse. Let me get every one of my handcuffs.
I hate you. You'll hear me in draft screaming, "Take your own backups."
No, I'm gonna take your backup, so you have to pay me for when that comes.
Yeah, but you know me, I won't.
Yeah, you have.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
You'll never do it again. I got you. But yeah, Mike Washington feels pretty good in the early third. I like that. I think he fits the role well. They're going to have to use more than just Genty. Yeah. It's just, I think he does fit that backup role well.
That's fine. I selfishly had hoped that he got really good, like capital and landing spot, just so I could just so he could eat up spots in front of me where I'm not taking him, and
kind of like how Coleman and Singleton did. Just even though,
yeah. Actually, it did happen with them, so that's fine. Yeah, and Carson back.
okay, Mr. Late Second stream value game. Let's see here. I guess we'll get into the tight ends now. I think it's the last stuff we really want to discuss. Got Justin Justin Jolie, got Trigg, got Raiden, Delp, injuries. There's a lot of them. There was like 24 tight ends taken this class.
Yeah.
Am I missing? Who else am I missing?
Marlon Klein is a project, but he's a receiver.
Yeah, he's also basically undrafted in most leagues.
I've been getting him late.
Yeah, I picked him up in waivers twice.
Oh, nice. But yeah, let's talk about those guys. Delp, Jolly, and Raritan have been my targets from third round on. Just crossing my fingers that they fall and just taking them.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Especially in this class, they all have receiving upside. So,
and it's been at the expense of all the running backs that we just talked about. I don't have any shares of those guys. Yeah, the only running backs I have shares of, I have like 5 or 6 Love shares. I have 2 Jadarian Price shares, and that's it. Because this is a bad running back class, guys. Even if your guy gets a little run or whatever, you think you're going to get a second for him. I don't care. No, I don't care. They're going to get drafted over. They're going to be garbage. I would rather have one of these tight ends that I think is going to develop into something good. So that's
the only problem for me is draft capital didn't say that in a lot of these things. Like I mean, they all got fine draft capital, but they didn't get.
With tight end, I don't care about that much. Because so many tight ends were going off the board in the second, blocking tight ends in the second, kind of pushed some of these guys down. If you look at the landing spots, Raritan is behind 100-year-old Hunter Henry, and he's a good receiver, man. I think he would be great with Drake May. Yet Jolly is behind 100-year-old can't catch Evan Ingram, who really didn't do anything last year. I like the potential for him to do something, and even if it takes a year or two, if he becomes a starter in Denver's offense, God, that is such a steal in the 4th round. It's like what what we got out of Dulcich early on, but
Yeah.
if he could have stayed healthy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for with this. And then
Don't you
and then
talk junk
Delp.
about Juwan Johnson.
No. Oh, no, I'm
Don't you
not
do
gonna.
it.
And then Delp, I do feel like is a he's gonna have to sit and learn behind Juwan Johnson a little bit, but he's also older, and I just I think there's going to be opportunity for Delp. If you look, I mean, really, they have Olave and Tyson, which are really, really, really good players, right? Tyson's a rookie, and you have Juwan Johnson, and after that, it's wide open.
Well, they got Vele that they traded a
Right. If
pick
I'm Oscar Delp, I'm motivated to beat Devon Vele, right?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a supremely talented player ahead of me for touches. So if you're telling me he has a chance to get on the field and maybe be fourth in target share in his rookie year on the Saints, who I think are going to be a good offense, I like it. I like that from, like I said, third round on.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I took the running backs in a lot of situations, and I have some Delp and some Jolie, and I think one or two Raritan shares. But a lot of these mid to late thirds, I took the running backs where I could, just because typically they get a significant bump quicker in value.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because none of the tight ends landed in a spot where I think this year they see significant usage outside of injury. So I don't have an issue at all with what you're saying. I just went a different route in most of mine.
Yeah, we played it different. You're looking to flip these guys, which I think it's going to be tough to flip guys for 27 picks.
But that's fine too, though. I don't have to have a 27 pick. I mean, they're cool. They're cool, but I'm also going to be fine taking a 27 third and a 28 second.
I looked at it as this is a very simple way to look at it. It's a bad running back class. It's a good tight end class. I'm taking my dart throws at, the better players, the more talented players in this draft.
I have no issue. Anybody else that you want to? I do want to bring up Caleb Douglas. They draft Miami receiver. Did you see that he broke Calvin Johnson's RAS score?
He did?
Yes.
Oh.
So he is now the most athletic receiver ever per RAS.
I did not know.
It's pretty crazy.
Got a couple 5th, 6th round shares of him and some waiver pickups just in case something does happen.
Yeah. Zaven Thomas is somebody that I've been picking up late.
Same. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Shoot, I just had
Adam Randall's a good dart throw piece.
Oh, I don't like Adam Randall.
He's in a good offense. He fits well in the running scheme there. So
he runs like a tight end. He runs like a really fast.
He just became a running back, so it makes sense. He's not natural at it.
Yeah, he's so upright. And that was the owner's pick. I found out they let the owner make a pick. He took Adam Randall. There was a receiver. Kevin Coleman Jr.
Yeah,
I've been getting late. He has a chance to, he'll push Malik Washington for slot reps in Miami. I mean, if you're looking at a wide open wide receiver room, why not take a stab at a guy?
And they drafted 3 of them. So
yeah, right.
Brennan Thompson, Chargers little slot guy. I think he could be fun to have as a stash.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll credit Harmon again for this one, but he's like the Mike Washington that McDaniels took in Miami.
Correct. Exactly like it. Yeah.
This is the type of player that McDaniels loves and is going to try to get on the field.
Cool. Well, I'm looking at 60-some players, and I think we named all the relevant ones.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I think we hit it.
Cool.
I want to circle back to one point. I'm going to leave you with one last point.
Better be.
You remember the year Mark Andrews was drafted?
Where they took
Hayden Hurst
before
in the first round.
And took Andrews in the second, right?
Maybe even third.
I don't remember. But yeah, what about it?
It's not 100%. There's not 100% chance that Mason Taylor is dead.
It was the third, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
that's
not 100% chance that
oh my
Mason Taylor's dead.
gosh.
It's a non-0% chance.
Where's Chad when you need him?
No, I wouldn't bring this up in front of Chad.
Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous.
He'd be yelling bro so loud right now.
He should.
That's all I got. We can go to overtime if you want.
Cool.
Unless you have anything else.
Right, cool. No, that's good.
I got a bunch of movies I saw. I'll let you go first.
Oh God, don't you ruin any of them. I'm gonna leave this early.
No, I won't. I won't spoil anything.
Okay. We watched the second season of Worst Ex Ever from Netflix.
Oh.
We actually have one more episode. We're gonna watch it when we get done with this. But
that's Murder Docs, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
They did the guy with the tattoos that looked like the Joker. He was the first episode.
Saw him on
Wade Wilson, I think his name is. Yeah, it's crazy. I wouldn't believe it's real if they didn't have live footage of the stuff that happened.
Right on.
Like it sounds like you couldn't even make it up for a fiction movie kind of stuff. So it's wild that people go through that in their lives. It makes you realize maybe my life is pretty dang good. You know, I'm not dealing with that stuff. So that was crazy.
That's on our list.
And me and her have been rewatching some of Jersey Shore. we randomly do it once or twice a year. We'll pick a season or two and just rewatch it. And it's such a funny show.
You gonna start GTAing every day?
No,
GTL. My bad.
Yeah, GTL.
Gym tan laundry.
Yeah, I do laundry.
Yeah. See, when I was that age, the laundry part was the part that I did not do. Gym and beach.
Yeah,
I was just beach, pretty much.
Yeah, let's be real. I have an awesome lady that does the laundry for me.
That's cool.
She lives with me.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I don't do that part either, for be honest. So I do gym sometimes.
My wife and I have a good system. I wash and dry the clothes, and she folds them.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say I wear the clothes and she washes them. I was going to say that is a very good system.
No. We also share all the cleaning and cooking.
Yeah, same here. Well, I do as much as she'll let me.
Yeah.
Right on. Some of it she doesn't let me.
Yeah. Yeah, same. There's things around my house I'm not allowed to do. And any of the repairs she's not allowed to do. That's
correct. For sure.
Yeah. So I will start with the one we saw in the theater was the Michael Jackson movie. Mm-hmm. It was fun. It was good. She loved it, which makes sense. She loves music. And so like they played a lot of the music, and it was his nephew, Jermaine Jackson's son, that played him, and he did a great job.
Cool.
Like he doesn't look a lot like him, but he did the voice perfectly. I mean, the voice was perfect. And he sang like some of the songs. He was really good. And the dancing was really good. But it's like they played a lot of the songs like in full. So you're skipping over the story.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So I will tell you that the story is a kind of surface level. When I watch a movie like that, I want 3 hours. I want you to dig into the nitty gritty, dirty stuff, but they don't really. I mean, it's produced by his brothers.
Yeah. So it's not going to actually get into anything real.
Right. It's like a lot of the music biopics that are coming out now.
Gotcha.
But it's good. It was a fun watch, and the theater was packed. So that made it even more fun. People were like, sing along and laughing. There were some funny parts. So it was cool.
Cool.
And then my recommendation for you, this is a newer movie. It came out last year. It's called Send Help. Are you familiar?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it.
Rachel McAdams. I think that's her name. She's sort of like they make her out to be real frumpy, kind of hair's a mess, not real clean, eating tuna salad at her cubicle. Everyone kind of hates her at work. And then she's on a corporate flight with the boss and all the they make the boss and all of his cronies out to be like real like frat guy jerks. Right. And the plane crashes. Everyone dies except for her and the boss. And then it gets really good. It's got a survivor vibe to it. It's also got like a Lord of the Flies or Hunger Games vibe to it at times. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, don't, because I actually will watch it.
It's really good. It's not horror at all. It's suspense.
Okay.
I mean, there's some violence and there's a little gore. So
I can handle a little. That's fine.
Okay. It's not, I wouldn't say it's overly gory. It's directed by Sam Raimi. Do you know who that is? Have you ever seen Evil Dead or Army of Darkness?
Oh, God. Yeah, Evil Dead is disgusting, but yeah.
Well, he's the director of those. It's not like that.
Okay.
It's not like when they're, because he's like, he just likes to do over the top things. He also directed the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
Oh, yeah. Those are good.
Yeah. So he's a really good director, and he's just got his own style, and he makes it really interesting. It's a lot of fun. There's some jump scares and a lot of twists, but I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Highly recommend. I loved it.
Okay.
Wife just kind of liked it, but she doesn't understand him as a director. She just didn't really get it.
Gotcha.
And then I guess the last one is called Is This Thing On? And that is, did you ever watch Arrested Development? Very
lightly, like extremely casualty. So I'm going to say no, but I know what you're talking about.
You know the one brother, his name's Job, but it's spelled Gob, so they all call him Gob.
No, but okay.
Well, he's the one that also does I think it's Reese's commercials or whatever. Anyway, he's just been a comedic actor forever. If you look him up, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Will Arnett is his name.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Married to Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
One of the first kind of serious roles I've seen him in. He's going through a separation / divorce with his wife, and he's like a very successful financial guy in Manhattan, and he just starts dropping by comedy clubs and starts doing some open mics and is actually kind of funny and good at it, and starts getting successful, and he meets comedians, and at the same time he's dealing with his divorce and his kid and his family. And anyway, it's a really good movie. Okay. I wish it was a little more about the stand-up and less about the relationship between him and his wife, but my wife really liked that part. So if you watch it with your wife, it's good for both of you, And I think that's all I got.
Cool.
Survivor 50 is getting so good. Oh my God, it's getting so good.
I haven't started it. I'll wait till it's over.
Yeah, well, it is torture waiting for it to come out.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore.
That was a mistake that I made.
I've been spoiled way too much on stuff now. I can't sit there and week by week it.
I mean, binging Survivor is one of the greatest things you can do with your life.
Absolutely.
So, that was our weekly Survivor moment. We always have to do that every week.
At least get a minute in.
Well, at least when Survivor 50 is going on, because it's been epic. There have been down spots, but I don't know, man. Since Mr. Beast came on, it's just been awesome.
Cool.
Nice. All right, man. Anything else?
That's all, dude. Let's rock.
Right on. Spin the front office. Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the front office. The lights are low, the boards are lit, and the Dynasty clock is ticking. From the heart of the startup draft to the championship throne, one crew rules the long game. Give it up for the undisputed architects of empire, Dynasty!